Hey everybody, this is going to be a little bit of a different type of Glee podcast that we're doing. It's not a podcast. We're just doing some video tonight because the three guys couldn't make it all together. It's not easy being media moguls as we are. So we're going to do something a little bit different, and I'd appreciate any feedback in the comment section. Be polite or not, either way. So tonight we're talking about Glee. And the episode's called Duets, and basically it was a complete 180 from what I thought last week's Grilled Cheesus was all about. Last week's Grilled Cheesus, we kind of lambasted if you listen to our last podcast. I said that the story was bad, the singing was only okay, and I thought all the characters were completely unlikable. So we come into duets this week, and a couple of big things that were left out was Sue Sylvester. Sadly, she didn't even make an appearance this week. We also missed out on the doe-eyed Emma, who didn't make an appearance at all this week either. So there was no real Will Schuester type love triangle crap going back and forth. What we did get was every other storyline involving the actual students of the Glee Club. So some of the storylines and characters have been neglected, such as Artie, the guy in the wheelchair who gets dumped by Tina. Tina, who starts dating other Asian. Apparently he has a friggin' name now. Who knew? So other Asian can dance, and they're all Asian-y together. And of course, we know that Tina's got to come back to Artie at some point. But right at the moment, Artie needs to be good with himself. We also have Brittany being awesome, which is never a bad thing. We have Quinn Fabray, the cheerleader. We haven't really seen anything of her this season so far since she basically had her baby last season, and that's been kind of that. She had a little thing going on with Puck, but she's all about her this year and trying to take back Cheerios and things like that, trying to return to her evil, maniacal self that she used to be pre-pregnancy. Obviously, she's a little bit different, so that's been kind of interesting. We also have a big storyline this week with new guy and Justin Bieber lookalike Sam. He apparently, you're not sure if he's gay until towards the end when he really starts to show a bit of an interest in Quinn, which obviously is persona non nuki in the Glee Club because, what's his name? Finn got her, he was dating her for a while, and then Puck knocked her up. So she's been kind of on the sidelines as far as being able to be touched, and, well, now some new guy comes in, and he's touching all over her. So that's been kind of interesting. We also had some other interesting developments this week. We brought back Mercedes again. She just wasn't in the background to hit those high notes. She actually had a couple lines of dialogue, and she did a great Celine Dion duet. I'm not really sure why we were doing duets this week, but finally they sort of at least hinted at my main problem from last week's podcast, which was the lack of overall story arc. And the lack of overall story arc has really just annoyed me going through 3 episodes. Probably more so than the rest of the 3 guys' crew. I find it that, you can't just assume we care about an overall story arc that nobody has mentioned this season. So they mentioned it this week, and I guess the duets was kind of a way to train and get ready and things like that. The other problem that I had was with the annoying characters. I had a huge celebrity crush on Rachel, played by the extremely hot Lea Michele last season. She was hot, she was quirky, she had the great singing voice. She was adorable last season, and then this season she's a bitch. Like, just completely selfish, doesn't care about anybody else besides herself, even Finn, which I can't figure out how that would go because, even I would have dumped her by now. So I had no idea what was going on with that. And finally, this week they stepped it up to where after she does a duet with her boyfriend Finn, she's like, "I want you, I want to be a better person because of you." And he's like, "All right, well that's cool, whatever." And she thinks that they need to lose the duet competition so Sam can feel good about himself, so that will help the Glee Club in the long run. Not entirely selfish, but it's a step in the right direction. As a result, they do a really awkward song choice that's, while executed surprisingly well, didn't go over so well. Finn dressed up as a preacher, and she dresses up like a nun. It was bizarre. So we also had Santana, who, by the way, starts off the episode lip-locking Brittany. I don't know. It was hot. I'm not going to lie. I may be thinking about that episode, for days to come. I don't know. But Santana ends up singing with Mercedes, which was very good. We also had a little bit of Kurt this week, who, despite my lack of liking of Kurt, especially last week, he was amazing this week. He did Victor Victoria, a song from there, that was absolutely incredible. Instead of doing duets, he did something all by himself because he's kind of confronting the idea that because he's gay and he's one of the few people that have come out in his school, there's not a lot of people that are going to be on his side. And so it's kind of him facing that reality. And he does it amazingly well. I have to give full props to Chris Colfer for doing a great job. And actually a good character this week. He wasn't annoying. He was just dealing with his shit. And he did it well. And there wasn't really the homophobia that they may or may not imply, or I may or may not imply. So I thought that was really good. So Kurt does that all by himself. You also have an amazing choreographed and synchronized song with Mike Chang and Tina. Mike Chang is Other Asian, by the way. I'm going to call him Other Asian from now on. But him and Tina do an amazing job in a song called Sing. And to be honest, I really thought that they kind of could have easily won. But everything was great this week. The final song with Quinn and Sam obviously wins the competition to Breadsticks. But really, I think the choice could have gone to anybody. I mean, they really showed why this Glee cast, is respected for their amazing talent this week. So it was good to see that. I haven't been impressed by the music, the storylines, any of that up until now. And so finally, it looks like maybe they've gotten back on track. We mentioned last week the possibility of some shark jumpage, and hopefully maybe another episode like this, which next week I guess is Rocky Horror Picture, or in 2 weeks. Maybe that'll kind of quell some of that talk for a while, which would be nice for a change. We've talked about that for a while, so that could be interesting. Next week, like I said, we've got the Rocky Horror Picture Show one, so I'm looking forward to that. I like the music tonight, even though it wasn't at the center of pop culture, hardly. Some of the songs were, quite old. I think Kurt was like 50 years old. So they weren't at the center of pop culture tonight, but I think it was still enjoyable either way. So we would love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. We appreciate you listening to our podcasts. Let us know what you think of the whole video entries, and maybe we'll add to the podcast next time with a video entry as well. So for the Three Guys crew, I am Kevin, and thanks for watching.